profile, as well as Grow Clinton's LinkedIn, and it's available via YouTube. And then we also record an audio-only version. That'll be on a thing called Buzzsprout that's attached to our website.
Well, it's fancy.
All right, Jenny, here comes the intro. You're listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Grow Clinton is a 501c6 nonprofit economic, community development, and tourism organization based in Clinton, Iowa. For more information, visit growclinton.com. Again, that's growclinton.com. Now, back to the show. What's happening, all you amazing listeners? Thank you for turning in to another episode of the Grow Clinton podcast, brought to you by Grow Clinton, a small economic development, community development, and tourism organization based in the eastern side of the state of Iowa, right along the mighty Mississippi River. As always, I am your host, Andy Sokolovich, President and CEO of Grow Clinton, joined in the Stew studio by Jenny Holm from our office. Jenny, what's happening?
It's a great day,
It is a great day. It's a beautiful fall day outside.
Fall day,
yeah.
And we have an exciting guest. It's great.
Yeah, do you think we're going to have a fall, like an extended fall, or just go right into winter?
No, I heard somebody say this weekend.
Don't say it. Don't say it. I'll say it for you. Snow in the forecast for Friday.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Oh, seriously?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
trick or treat.
It's interesting. For the last several years, I feel like we just haven't had a true fall.
No.
We just go right into the blizzard.
All of the Halloween costumes that are ruined by winter coats.
Oh, my daughter's Elsa, so we'll see how that goes. And her mom's Anna. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Elsa and Anna? Yeah.
No, I didn't.
And what are you?
Well, so we had a Rotary Boo Bash fundraiser last Friday.
Wow.
And all of my friends were texting me saying, we're going as together as a theme. And one of the brilliant ideas was the red hat ladies that you often see at the coffee clutch with their purple and red hats.
Oh, my mom was.
And I said, well, I have to MC, I have to be the auctioneer, and I'm DJing the event. So I'm not dressing up as a lady just because I want the mobility, right? Because they had some crazy costumes.
It is constraining.
Do you see how tough that is for us?
Yeah, it was constraining.
It is.
So I dressed up in a purple suit. I had some great crushed velvet red loafers, bright red loafers.
Wow.
And then I had a nice red fedora, and I had a red rose on my lapel, and it looked really cool.
Well, I'd love to see pictures.
Yeah, I'm sure they're out there.
Oh, they are. I've seen them. They're really good.
I'm sure my wife saves them to blackmail me if she ever has to.
She's got plenty of that.
Jenny, we got sponsors.
We do.
Mic check, courtesy of Citizens First Bank, making your finances and our audio crystal clear. The new mics for the Grow Clinton podcast are proudly sponsored by the bank that's always in tune with your community. Find them at gocfb.bank, banking as it should be with Citizens First Bank. Member FDIC. Adcraft Printwear and Sully Sports. Sully's is coming soon. The teasers are out there, Jenny.
I know that.
This is old school. Sully Sports was here, and then
back.
it went away, and now it's coming back.
Yep.
We're very excited about that. But Adcraft's been in the custom apparel game since 1974. Over the years, they've grown from a small family-run business serving the Clinton, Iowa area to a cutting-edge operation that serves teams and companies all over the United States. For all of your custom printwear needs, they do all sorts of tchotchkes.
They really do. I was there yesterday.
Tumblers,
everywhere.
whatever you need, they can do it.
I saw their plans for their new place yesterday and went over on a little visit, and we got an announcement about them later.
Okay.
But my eyes were, because they just have so much going on, and they're all standing there smiling, and I'm thinking, how are you not stressed out? But they're not.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who don't know, Jenny's sister runs the place.
She does. She's the boss.
She's the boss. I mean,
So
her
you're
husband
outside.
technically is on the...
Kind of. They're pretty
Yeah,
tight.
you're inside
Yeah.
contacted. Yeah.
Well, if I get my sister alone.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Julie's married to Dan Sullivan.
Right.
Yeah.
And Dan's kind of the head dude
He
over
is.
there. He's the guy.
He just.
But they have
smiling.
Colin,
Yeah.
his brother, and then little Colin,
Right.
his nephew, and they're crushing it.
They are. And John.
Yeah, and John, they're doing a great job. John's going to be overseeing Sully Sports.
Sully,
Yeah,
and then my
good
niece
stuff.
Jordan works there. They got it's the
It's
whole
a family affair.
It
Whole
is.
family
And I'll tell you
Family
what,
affair.
You think you're gonna mess around?
Nope. Mama
Throw you
Bear's
right
watching.
out the door. Right.
Hey, Jenny, we got the OG sponsor
That's right.
from the beginning of the Grow Clinton podcast. That's right. We're powered by Miles Communications high-speed fiber internet. It's wicked fast, ensuring that our broadcast is crisp, clear, and consistent. Miles offers residential and commercial high-speed internet services, as well as television and telephone services. If they're not in your neck of the woods, they are on their way. MilesTelephone.com. Again, MilesTelephone.com. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Great show today, Jenny.
I think so too. I'm so happy to have our guest, and it's been really exciting time for Grow Clinton. I'm so happy you're here.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Actually, I have to tell you, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. You are the trailblazer. We were talking about that
Yeah.
before we started recording. I mean, all of these chambers have podcasts, but you led the way. And
Thank you.
so anyway, I really am honored to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And you
so-
guys have incredible energy together, I have to say.
We do.
This really works.
It's my
doesn't it?
mom and I.
Yeah. Somebody thought I was Andy's mom.
Yeah, they
Oh,
said.
for heaven's sake.
They said, "Isn't it nice to be able to work with your son?"
I said, what?
What? Oh, wow.
I thought it was an awesome.
I
comment.
liked it. I didn't mind that a bit. Yeah.
So that voice you're hearing is Debi Durham. She serves as the director of both the Iowa Finance Authority and Economic Development Authority. She was originally named to the position, appointed by Governor Kim Reynolds. Well, no, I guess it was Governor Branstad in 2011.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time.
Wow. And then 2019 by Governor Reynolds. And during your tenure, you have turned the agency into a successful public-private partnership, landed billion-dollar economic development projects for Iowa. Some of those billions have landed right here in Clinton.
Yeah, that is
You work tirelessly on expanding trade and investment, and you pride yourself on building coalitions, supporting new ventures, and strengthening the state's industries and communities. Debi, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, again, pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So you have been an awesome supporter of everything we've done here in Clinton, from back in the Clinton Regional Development days to now Grow Clinton. Eastern Iowa is not forgotten by your office, and I absolutely love that.
Well, thank you. I mean, Deanna and I, it seems like I'm always with Deanna because she leads our public policy, but, literally I'm in communities 2 to 3 days a week, and it's communities of all sizes. And the reason we do that is, one, first of all, it's just really inspirational, really, to see what's happening. But we learn a lot. We find out what's working and not working. Some of our best ideas and new policies actually come from these visits to communities. And my philosophy of economic growth is that we're here to be the extension of your team, right? Because deals are won and lost at the local level. The state's deal is the state's deal regardless where a project lands. And so our goal is to help you be as successful as you can. And so it really is a true partnership. And
How does that collaboration work? The state tools and the local government,
Yeah.
how does that go together?
Yeah, so basically, we come in and we find out what the plans are. What is your strategic plan, whether it's certified sites, whether it's housing development, whether it's community enhancement. And then we come in and say, oh, well, we have a program that can help you with that, right? And so it really is that we come in to complement what you're doing. We can't be the one that creates the strategic vision, right? And we shouldn't be. But once we know where you're going, we can certainly. And then we've also learned over the years that sometimes if we would just tweak our programs a little bit, it would make it a lot more adaptable. And so, that's why being out here, it's really, again, it's encouraging. But at the end of the day, we go home. Very long days,
Yeah.
actually, because we start in Dubuque, we're here, and then we're going to Manchester, and then we'll be back in Des Moines. I mean, it's exhausting at the end of the day, but I will say when we're in communities, it's actually energizing. And really what you guys have done here, I mean, across the continuum, not only are you investing in your industrial base, right? And I remember being here on that very, very hot day for Alex.
Hottest
You
day
remember
of the
hot?
year.
Yeah, and then I
Oh.
think you were serving barbecue outside, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
well,
But
Why not just
yeah,
go
why
all the
not?
way?
Yeah, it's like, whoa. I mean,
Hindsight's
hot,
2020.
hot. But what a great event! And then to hear that company really talk about again. Listen, they were happy for the incentives the state put on the table, but what they were really excited about was the way you welcome them here,
Yeah.
right? It's the work that you did, and that was a great day.
I will tell you, those guys from Atlas Roofing Corporation were
Yeah.
tough negotiators, and you
Yeah.
hit the nail on the head when you said the state incentives are what they are.
They are.
And
It
they didn't
doesn't-
come
yeah.
here looking for state incentives. They came here looking for local support.
Yes.
And that was an odd day because originally that project was with the Iowa Area Development Group.
It was.
And then it got shifted within the park to a different location that was served by Alliant Energy. So IADG was out. Grow Clinton stepped in. I met with their leadership team on a hot August day or late July. It was our golf outing. So I met with them and I had flip flops on and shorts and a polo. And we walked rail and we stumbled through weeds and they were able to see the vision that was the Lincoln Way Industrial Rail and Airport.
Gorgeous site.
And they made a command decision to locate there. And it was, there was some
Yeah.
people often don't understand. Of course, you do because you were a practitioner at the Siouxland Chamber
Yeah.
and with IEDA. But sometimes you have some really difficult conversations with these companies,
You do.
and you have to learn how to flex and kind of meet in the middle.
You absolutely do. And it is a partnership because they're going to be here, long after, we're out of it in our deal. And you also want to make sure, these companies we bring in are good corporate citizens, right? And they're paying our people good wages because, we're all about raising the standard of living for Iowans. And so, yeah, we want prosperous businesses, but we want opportunities for our citizens to thrive. But again, you landed that deal, right? Because deals are won and lost at that local level. And so that's why I really feel that our team, our entire team on IEDA and IFA is really extension of your organization because we're here to help you be successful.
Yeah.
What do you see as a key component or the biggest driver in the success for Iowa all across the board? Is it industry? Is it population? Is it...
No, so basically, I think it really was back in 2011, because I've been doing this gig for a very long time. When I came in, we actually eliminated in code the Department of Economic Development and created this new structure. And it was really comprehensive and holistic approach. So it is about creating a business climate in which businesses can prosper, and that is taxation and regulatory certified sites, workforce development, transportation, rail, you name it. But it's equally as important today that we also focus on the community development side, which is building communities in which people want to live. And that's around housing and quality of life and trails and parks and neighborhood development. And so when you combine those two, it's very, very powerful because, again, our biggest challenge in Iowa is the same today as it was in 2011. It's probably more pronounced as we do have a population problem, right? And that's not unusual for the whole Midwest.
No.
We have slow population growth. We have an aging population. Even though we've seen the last 2 years net positive growth, it's not enough to compensate for the exit of the baby boom generation. And so we have to keep doing that. And that's about creating places want to live. So it's not only where businesses, because Atlas, great, you had the certified site, you had all those things they needed. They checked that box. But if they didn't think it was a community in which they could attract or keep workers, they wouldn't be here.
Right.
And so it really is all of the above. And so now with reorganization of government, when you think about it, Governor Reynolds took 36 directors and cabinet levels, departments, combined them into 16. And so now anything that touches economic community development between now with IEDA and IFA being combined, and then you have the arts and culture and SHPO there, anything that touches that space is housed in one place. So it is everything that you need in programming is located with us. And when you come in the door, you don't know who works for who because it really is people are working in teams based on that level of programming. So it's been great. The same thing is like we used to run some workforce programs, right? We started the apprenticeship program at IEDA and we did the internship programs and all of that was then moved over to workforce. So it's the kind of the same thing with their reorganization. We really want there to be the expertise and to kind of stay within our verticals. So it's been very, very successful.
Yeah, one of the things we struggled with for a long time was having industry leadership live in our community.
Yes. Yes.
I am proud to say that today, Atlas Roofing Corporation's plant manager, Ryan Larkin, lives in our community, actually born and raised in our community.
Okay, that's a great testament.
Joe Hoinkus, site manager for Lyondell Basell, lives in our community. Not only that, when the decision was made to no longer tax retirement, he's choosing to stay here after he retires from this next turnaround in 26. So he loves it here. I mean, it's just, we've seen this kind of ADM's plant manager lives in our community and is from our community. Yeah. So we've seen this growth and development and just inspired plant managers and site managers that want to live here.
Makes such a difference.
It does. It makes such a difference because they're involved. They understand what needs to happen. It's not, you're not sending a request to somebody at corporate who has no clue what's going on in the state of Iowa. And to have them as ambassadors of our community is huge.
Well, and it's a compliment to all of you and your leadership and that you're making the right investments and it's making a difference. And there's not any greater proof than that is just what you said, that these leaders are choosing to live here. And that's not the case everywhere I visit.
Yeah. Now, can you validate something I always say is economic development is not a sprint. It is truly a marathon because often constituents and community members want to see things happen overnight.
Oh gosh, it absolutely is. I can, and actually just to give you a real example of that, recently I attended the ribbon cutting for the core project in Eddyville, which is a joint venture between Cargill and German company Helm, where they're doing basically sustainable fibers from plant molecules, right? So you had like the head buyer of Lululemon there. It was an incredible thing, $300 million thing. That worked on for years, if not a decade, I am telling you, and used our renewable tax credit chemical that we were the first in the country to do it. And we had to renew it twice because nobody used it. And I kept saying to the legislature, just trust me, just trust me. I'm telling you, there will be a day where this makes sense in the marketplace. And that day is here and it's happening. And the other thing that was so incredible about that ribbon cutting is you got to hear from the local farmer, right? That his corn and all of his neighbors' corns are being paid a premium to service this plant because he's doing regenerative ag practices. So that actually helps on that whole sustainability, environmental. It's just great to see these things full circle. But yeah, a decade. And I mean, and I can just tell you projects, and particularly Mark Lorenzo has great examples because that's this biospaces in which he basically plays for our team.
We have one right now we're working on.
Yeah, and honestly, they take a long, long time to do. And the other thing I think also, for local policymakers, everybody likes the big headline about the shiny new thing and the new thing comes to town. Over 80% of our portfolio is existing companies, right? Economic Development 101 foundation is take care of your own backyard, because if we don't, there's a director out there from another state that certainly will, or a community that's very aggressive. And that's where most of our growth comes from. And so we need to really pay attention to that. And yes, it's nice to have the announcements, but that's not what we do on a day-by-day basis. It really is taking care of the existing. And you've got great companies here. I mean, you got ADM, you got, Nestle, Purina, the packaging company here. In fact, we did we've
Big
seen
River.
them. Yeah, Big River. I love Big River. What a great company, right? What a great, just
Right.
their culture,
Family.
their family. I love it, and so those are the companies that we like. And if I if I would pull up a list of all the projects we have, the majority of it are going to be, between those three companies, right? That continue to grow here.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about.
We've
I'm
seen
at-
a tremendous, sorry, Jenny, but we've seen a tremendous amount of capital investment. Nestle Purina Pet Care is over $500 million
That's unbelievable.
within the last 5 years in that
Yeah.
plant. And that's nothing to sneeze at. ADM, brand new corn wet mill,
Yeah.
still doing projects with the bio side, working with Lorenzo on a big one, which we're very excited about. So yeah, it's cool to sit back and watch our community grow and develop and see the injection of new wealth through the expansion of our existing industries.
I imagine that in the time that you've been there, things change so fast.
They
the
do.
adaptability that you have to show. What is, in your time in this job, what is the biggest change that you've seen? Or, I imagine you have to change course so often.
It honestly is a constant change. I don't know that I've seen really big changes. I will tell you, though, that the way our funding works, and I give a lot of credit to Deanna, for the relationship with the legislature. A lot of our programming, particularly on the innovation platform, because we're seeing some really exciting things on innovation, like, whether it's, regenerative ag or bio-based chemicals or, really pharmaceuticals is going to be a big play for us, is within that innovation platform, the legislature actually gives us a great deal of latitude to develop programs as the marketplace dictates. So like on the bio takes a longer time to happen, right? It's easier to start a software company or to do something around precision ag. You see those startups happen pretty quick. They're not even that capital intensive, most of them. When you start playing in the medical space, whether it's on the human or animal platform or in the bio, manufacturing, those take significant investments. And so the legislature allows us to give more money to those. They allow us to move money, like I said, between that innovation platform, which I think is really good. And the new incentive program that we're doing, I'm very excited about, because it really is, with us now being more competitive as a state, right? With our taxes and regulatory and climate, that our incentives had to change. And now the legislature is really giving us an incredible amount of flexibility. So when you see one deal at IEDA, you're going to see one deal, because we can move as we need to, depending on the community, the needs of the community, and depending on how important the project is for the entire ecosystem.
Mm.
So I think that having that flexibility piece, I mean, we've come a long way, because I remember when I came in 2011, funny story, and he's still a dear friend, Craig Paulson was Speaker of the House. And I remember calling Craig saying, Craig, I have some news for you. I'm going to be your new director of economic development. There's this pregnant pause. And I said, Craig, are you still there? And he said, well, yeah. And he said, well, that certainly changes everything. And I said, well, why would you
Why?
say that? And he said, because we were thinking about eliminating the Department of Economic Development. So we've
Oh.
come a long way, right?
Okay.
But when I came in, just to set in time, it was the middle of the film tax credit scandal. They had 5 directors in like 7 years. So you had this revolving door. It was just, morale couldn't have been worse. And I'm a director that really believes in building the culture, because, it's not me, it's the team that surrounds us, right? And so anyway, it was, I mean, we were really truly starting from scratch. But yeah, that's where we started. To see where we are today, that we get bipartisan support on all of our legislation, as it should be, because what we do is not partisan. Yeah, we've come a long way
There's no
from where
doubt
we
about it.
started back
Right.
in 2011.
No doubt about it. I mean, what I love
Yeah.
to share is I travel all over the country and I engage peers that are professional economic developers and represent large metros, smaller micropolitans, and rural America. And when I speak to the fact that we can just text our IEDA team, like I have your number. I don't give it
Yeah.
out, but I have your number.
Yeah, well, it's the only number on
But-
my business card. So.
But like Mark Lorenzo, Michael Gould,
Oh, yeah.
Amber
It's a
Rogers,
great
I
team.
can text them all and they are blown away because some of them have never even physically met their economic development director at the state level.
What is that? I mean, that's just unfortunate, right?
But that's
Because
what's
we're
here
here
in
to
Iowa, though.
serve.
That's what's so collaborative. And that's why,
Yeah.
I'm a transplant. I grew up in Pennsylvania and I moved here in 2012 and became involved in economic development in 2015. But I will forever be a resident of Iowa because
Yeah.
I just love it. And honestly, when I left the service in 2012, I had to do 2 things. 1, look on a map, find out where Iowa was.
Yeah.
And then 2, as an East Coast kid, because you don't really know a lot about the Midwest,
No.
and find out where Clinton was.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with this community. They embraced me. My last name's Sokolovich. There's nobody else like me around Iowa. Right? I dare you to find somebody.
I
There's
would
not.
think that's true.
So,
yeah. But
it's
it's
just been
like it's
great.
not 6 degrees of separation. It's like 1, right?
Oh,
I mean,
everybody knows everybody.
it does, and people are willing to help each other, right? It's still, and even as hyper partisan their things are at the federal level, in Iowa we can still work across Iowa and make things happen.
Yeah.
And neighbors helping neighbor, and of course you see that. So I think, it's great to land these billion-dollar deals, but as I look at my time being short, what I'm going to remember most is that when we showed up at Iowans' most vulnerable time, because, all the disaster relief money runs through our agency. So whether it's after the flood or, after a tornado. In fact, I was just in Mendon a year after the tornado to see what has happened in that community. And they are building back better, right? And stronger. Or COVID. I tell you, COVID was the biggest professional challenge of my lifetime, right?
I cannot imagine the stress level.
It was unbelievable. Because there really was no, playbook, and we were kind of making it up as we went along. And as I also think of Governor Reynolds and her strong legacy, I mean, certainly the tax and competitive environment, but I think one of her finest moments was the way she led us through COVID, right? She made, in hindsight, and we didn't know it at the time, but she made really most all the decisions she made were the right decisions, which is why Wallet Hub said that Iowa was the strongest economy coming out of it. And that's really due to her. And I had a front row seat. I mean, because, I never left the office, even though I was supposed to be in France. Did you ever hear that story?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so my son married very well, and her family has a place in, the France. I
Like
mean,
you do.
yeah, like
Yeah,
you
it's like-
do,
No.
like you go to,
Yeah.
right? My grandsons speak French. And so I finally convinced my husband to put him on a plane because he hates airplanes, that we were going to go over there for my 60th birthday. The kids were already there, so they're expecting us to arrive. And I am a seasoned traveler. I mean, my passport has a lot of stamps in it. And went to check in for the flight, and I couldn't check in. And so again, I called my travel agent and said, Chris, I can't check in. And kind of like the Craig moment, You know, there was this pregnant pause. And she said, well, that's because you were supposed to be on the flight that left this morning. And I am like, oh, this can't be true. So my assistant and Chris, my travel agent, worked all day to try to get me to France. And it was either going to cost a lot more money or I was going to have to take several modes of transportation to be there. And I remember saying, stop. You know, luckily they were refundable tickets. I said, stop. I just don't think God wants me going.
Right.
This
to
is a
France.
sign.
This is a
Mhm.
sign. I'm not forcing this. I don't know why. This is just unbelievable because we had planned this for a year.
And your husband's with you, and he already doesn't like to travel.
Yeah, he
Right.
doesn't like
So I'm
to
sure
tra-
he's saying, I told you so.
So
This is
that's
why we
right.
don't travel.
That's exactly right.
Did he say, okay, let's just go home?
Yeah, he did. He said, okay, I'm fine with
That's
it.
good. That's
And, but
smart.
the next week, I never left the office because we started closing down segments of our economy, which there's never any world in which I could imagine that. So, yeah, exactly. It was a God thing. I was supposed to be here. And so I left and
You know,
stayed. And, but yeah.
your
yeah.
office did a great job.
Mhm.
I mean,
Well, it
we
was
work closely
tough.
with IEDA and IFA and then our local lenders
Yeah.
on all those PPP loans.
Oh,
I
gosh,
mean,
it was
we
a
were
mess.
we were trying to do everything we possibly could.
The community bankers were also are the ones that made, you know, my gosh, the
Oh, they
way
put
they
like
got money
18-hour
out.
days,
Yeah.
Oh,
nonstop.
it was unbelievable.
We went to Hy-Vee
Yeah.
and bagged groceries. They were so
Yep.
busy. They're, Grow Clinton
See, I
supporters.
mean, that's
and-
how Iowans
Yeah.
are. I mean, it was, yeah, there's just so many heroes of that. And, but yeah, who could imagine?
No, that
Yeah.
Midwest nice is real. It's
Mhm.
tangible. I mean,
Yeah.
people joke about it on the East Coast, but when I go back home, I mean, just the other day, I tell the story. I was walking. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm walking my dog. Dog has a light up collar on. I have a little light up vest.
Oh,
and
I'm sure. I'd love
every
to
mo-
see pictures
yeah,
of this too.
Every morning,
Yeah.
I call my mother in the morning during my walk.
Oh,
She's
you're such a good
She's an
son.
hour ahead of me, so I call her and I motivate her to get up and go to the gym, and she talks to me
Oh.
during my walk. But I'm talking, and it's
That's
dark out,
awesome.
and all of a sudden I feel a tap on my shoulder, and I turn around, and there's a lady, and she's saying she was out walking. She goes, "You talking to me?"
Yeah.
I said, "No, I'm sorry, my mom's in my earbud." She goes, "Oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure you didn't need help." And she goes, "I heard you talking, and who else would stop you at 5 o'clock in the morning on the street
Yeah.
in the
Iowa,
dark but an
yeah.
Iowan?"
Yeah.
You are
You
a
do
good
that back
son,
where
though.
I'm from, and
That's
somebody
a
taps
great
you on the
son. That's a
shoulder.
great son.
Somebody taps you on the shoulder where I grew up, you better run at 5 o'clock in the morning because they're up to no good.
Oh my gosh.
But it's
that's
so
That's a
cool.
great story.
It is a great
Yeah.
son.
I
So
do-
what
I
kind of
make
puppy
people-
do you have?
I have two. I have a Bernie Doodle
Oh.
and a Labradoodle. Now,
Okay.
growing up, my dad was a canine
Yeah.
officer, so we always had Shepherds or Rottweiler.
Yeah.
I never thought that I would have anything ending in a doodle,
Yeah.
but my wife introduced me to a cockapoo,
Yeah.
and just the no shedding thing
Yeah, oh
kinda
yeah,
sold
it's
me.
real.
Yeah.
It's real because we
So-
had labs with my kids. Now
Mhm.
we have a golden doodle, and
Yeah.
I'll never go back to.
But I'll tell you
anything
what,
that
the
sheds.
Bernie Doodle went on strike. One day,
Oh.
now I've been walking her for months. One day, she just
Several.
decides to sit down at an intersection, and she's not going anywhere.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like looking at her, and she's just, panting away and looking at me. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
no, what's wrong? So I pick her up. I'm like moving her legs, trying to figure out something's
Yeah.
wrong. And then she's just sitting there staring at me. And I'm like, hey, come on. She's 100 pounds. She's a big dog.
Oh yeah.
So I can't just move her, drag her. So I go, okay, well, whatever. So I call my wife. My wife comes and picks her up and puts her in the car. Next day, I put her harness on. We get out of the driveway. She decides that she's no longer walking. She
Look,
has
I don't
no.
wanna do
she-
this.
physically, she is fine.
But
She
she's
just
not
doesn't
done-
want
we're
to do
done
it.
with that.
No, if she gets outside in the morning, I let her out to go to the bathroom.
Wow.
If I want her to come back in, I just shake her collar and she runs right back
Yeah.
in the house.
You know, this is funny.
Lazy.
So my friend who has several dogs has two that like refuged. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that she
Rescued?
rescued,
Yeah.
right? And that she actually took them to a dog whisperer.
That's what I
Oh.
need.
So she could maybe you need that.
Yes.
And
Did
I-
it work?
well, apparently she feels like she really does understand them better. So I don't
Okay.
know. I have never done that, but maybe maybe.
No,
So
she's-
there's this option if
She's
you
a
if
bum. She's lazy every morning.
Mhm.
I love
She
it.
has no
I
desire
do love
to
the
go out.
pets though. I mean,
I love
mean,
dogs. I don't know if I
yeah.
could. That was the hardest part for me joining the military was not having a
Oh,
dog for all those
yeah.
years. I
Yeah.
deployed and went to different bases and stuff. But once I settled down,
Yeah.
we have dogs. I love them.
I
Yeah,
have
so,
3
you know,
mutts.
You have 3?
3 mutts. Mhm.
Oh,
And
wow.
they're supposed to be designer, but I just
Jenny
say
loves
mutts.
them all.
Yeah. I
in
think there's
trouble.
something, if you come into my office, I have all these pictures of my grandkids, of course, but I do have the only portrait that has actually been painted and commissioned is of my dog. The kids said, well, we never had portraits. And I said, well, he does love me unconditionally. I'm telling you. When I walk in, he literally jumps up on Friday and puts his little paws around me and just hugs me. And
Yeah.
he loves to dance with me. It's
Nothing
just-
better.
There's nothing. And listen, we bring your dog to work day.
We do
2
that
years
here.
in a
We had
row.
2 in our office yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, well, yeah, we have 200 people, so when you have a lot of dogs,
Yeah.
but it's been awesome. They love it, and it's a great thing.
So Debbie, when your last day is what?
Well, I ride out with Governor, and so whenever that is, I
January
think it's middle of
27th?
January 27th when she swears
Something like
in the
that?
new governor.
But you're not
Yeah.
done. You won't be done. I can't imagine
Well,
that.
I am done because I
Done
work at
with
her
that.
pleasure.
Position,
Done
yeah.
with that,
Okay, yes,
with your
yes.
career.
No, absolutely not. I'm
No.
going to do something. I jokingly said I'm going to go run for mayor or do something, but we'll see. Honestly, and this is not bragging. I've never applied for work since my first job out of college. Things just have a way of opening up, and I'm a strong person of faith, and if I'm meant to do something different, then that door will open for me. So, but
There
I
you
have to
go.
tell you, this has been, to wake up every day and love what you do and find meaning and fulfillment. I met with a group of YPs at Ames the other day, and I said, listen, if what you're doing doesn't fulfill you, do something different. Life is just too short. We spend too much time at it. So yeah, I feel extremely blessed to have done this position. So it's been great.
Well, we feel equally blessed to have had you as a leader in this position. You've been, whether you know it or not, a mentor to me. Just because there's a couple things. I don't take myself too seriously, right? So I like to look at economic development as a challenge, but I also want to have fun doing it.
Yeah.
And that's something that you've been able to express your entire career is we don't take ourselves too seriously. We don't get incredibly deep in the weeds. We look at things from a very broad view
Yeah.
and understand that we're still working with people.
Absolutely.
At the
It's
end
all
of the
about
day-
relationships.
Yeah, it's about relationships. It's
Yeah,
emotion.
yeah,
So
yeah.
whomever takes the position that you will vacate, I hope they have that same work ethic and that mentality because I love what I do. And much
Yeah.
like you, I fell into this. I was an air
Yeah,
traffic
yeah.
controller for 12 years.
Oh, wow.
And somebody said to me one day, would you like to become the existing industry manager for an economic development organization? And I said, yeah.
All right.
And, that's 10 years ago already. I can't believe that. But you've really inspired myself and the entire state. I mean, when I go to PDI, Professional Developers of Iowa, or I go to the Iowa Chamber Alliance, I've never, ever heard anybody have a negative word to say about you or your office.
Oh gosh, well that's great to hear. But you know how I feel about all of you too. I mean, I come from you. I mean, I did economic development at community level. I know what you do on a day-to-day basis, and you make such a difference in the place you call home. And so thank you.
Yeah. And the other thing is you inspire me because sometimes this job, and you can probably attest to this, will feel thankless
Yeah.
because especially when you hit that home run and then people come back to you 6 months later and go, okay, now where's the next home run?
Right.
It's like, can we just bathe in success that we just had? And sometimes you're asked to do things that are just unattainable.
That's true.
And you have to put a smile on, though, and work your butt off to do your best and make that come to fruition. And there are days where you walk out of the office as a community development or economic development professional, questioning whether or not you're making an impact. But when I hear you speak and when I'm surrounded by my peers in Iowa, we all have each other's backs and we are all very self-promoting and encouraging. And I love that. If I'm ever feeling down, I just look at my calendar and see when the next Professional Developers of Iowa or ICA meeting is. And that's my boost. That's what really re-energizes me.
Oh, I love that because I
See?
agree. It's a great team.
You're going on and you got that.
There
And
you
that's
go.
all over the state. So you got to feel
Oh,
good.
Thank you. Thank you.
We all do. Even Kip Simpson commented here and said somebody needs to figure out how to clone a Debbie
Oh,
to ensure that you can't.
okay.
Oh gosh, I wish I could be cloned. That'd be awesome because I very seldom am able to be two places at once.
Nope.
So,
Always running.
Oh boy,
always
that
running.
is true.
It's true.
Yeah.
University of Iowa's
Yeah.
doing great things. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
they are. They are.
think about it.
You were resistant to AI.
I kind of was.
I
because
told
got
Jenny,
an
I
English
said, run this
degree.
through ChatGPT.
Yeah.
She goes, I paid a lot for my education. I said, I'm just saying, use
did.
it as a
I said
tool.
that. And then I did it the first time and went, Wow.
It was awesome.
So easy.
And then you also feel like that AI application still needs you.
Yes, right, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, but it is amazing.
It
I
is
mean,
really
we're using it more and
amazing.
more. In fact, our big, public launch with it was tourism. We have Goldie, the chat box that's helping
Oh,
plan
yeah.
trips across Iowa. It's been wildly successful.
It's
But,
amazing
yeah.
all the stuff it can do. I mean, it's just
Absolutely.
one thing after the next. You
Yeah.
don't have time to think. So
Yeah.
they're thinking for
I
you.
love it. It's just, that it takes the monotonous stuff out. Like, reading a big report, just basically saying, okay, really just tell us what we need to know here,
Yes,
right? I
yes.
mean, and really being able to do that and make that crisp. But yeah, so we've been using AI a lot internally, but the Goldie was our first kind of real public
Yeah.
saying, that we're fully embracing. And
board.
manufacturing's been using AI for a long time.
Isn't that true? That
Yeah, they really have. So
Very cool. Well, Debbie, as we close, I'm going to ask you to give us a couple sentences. If you're standing in front of your peers, your colleagues, your team at IFA and IEDA, and it's your last day, and they're looking at you, what is your message going out?
my message is going out that that our organization's not going to skip a beat when I walk out, because we have the most amazing team, and my philosophy of leadership has always been about empowerment. And so they're so mission driving. And so, it's been a pleasure serving with them, but they'll continue to go on and do great things.
No doubt. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. It really means a lot to us. When I found out you were physically going to be here.
Oh yeah, I want to be physical here.
yeah.
Look at this energy. I wanted to be
That's
here in the room. I didn't want to do a call in.
Yeah.
I was really happy because I sent and you said I prefer to be there in person, and I went, oh, Annie.
Yeah.
No, it's meant a lot to me. Thank you for everything you've done for the
thank
state.
you.
Thank you for everything you've done for Grow Clinton. Best of luck to you moving forward, and I will continue to follow your efforts even beyond the state level. So,
Oh well, thanks. Well, Godspeed to you all.
all right,
Thank you
best of
for
luck.
being here.
Thank you.
Jenny, what do you got going on the rest of the week?
I'm busy as usual. I'm reaching out to people, and one thing I was going to mention is that when I started this job, it was kind of hard to go out. People were facing difficulties, and in the last, I don't know how long, 6 years I've been here, the sentiment is so much more positive, and people
absolutely.
are seeing so many great things in the state. So your work has really been met with a lot of happiness and positivity. Really happy that I get to hear that. It's wonderful.
Jenny does a good job too. She's a social butterfly.
I am.
So
see.
she is in the perfect position because she goes out and Jenny has a very calming way about her too. So when she does her retention calls, if somebody's going crazy and pulling the whole Chicken Little skies falling thing, Jenny has a great way of calming them down, helping them see the forest through the trees, and then introducing them to programming that we have at Grow Clinton to make their lives easier.
Well, that's a
Thank you.
gift.
Thanks. Wow.
That's a gift.
All right, everybody. Well, that was episode, what was this, 174 of the Grow Clinton podcast. Don't worry, folks. We'll be catching up to 200. What are we going to do for 200? Something classy?
We said that for 100 and we didn't do anything.
I'll wear my purple suit for the 200. How about that?
I'll wear something. I have sparkles.
Yeah, you probably can fit into your dad's old Elvis costume. Maybe we can hem
Might
it
be
up
tight.
a little bit. Yeah. Her dad was an Elvis impersonator,
was.
but also the former mayor of Clinton.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow.
all sorts of things going on in
Oh,
the home
yes.
household.
Interesting combination.
He was a character.
I
He was
gather
a
that.
character,
Yes.
yeah. All right, everybody. We'll be back again. Actually, later today, we'll be interviewing Travis Winter.
Mm-hmm.
He is a candidate at large for city council here in Clinton. So make sure you tune in at 1:30 Central to hear from Travis. And then, do we have any other candidates coming up?
We do.
Election day is Tuesday, so
We have all the way up to Monday.
okay. Be sure to go out and
yeah.
vote November 4th. We have 5 candidates competing for 2 available seats at an at-large position. We have an uncontested Ward 1, and we have 2 candidates competing for the 3rd Ward Council seat. So it's a big
interesting.
one. There's going to be at
Yep.
least 4 new council members that are going to be sitting around that table. So it's exciting
It's
stuff.
going to be interesting.
Make sure you get out there
Yeah.
and vote November 4th. If you're a traditionalist like me, I vote on Election Day. If you want to vote early, 1900 North 3rd Street, Clinton County Admin Building. Get out there and vote, folks. Stay classy. I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Thank you for listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Be sure to subscribe. Follow us on all your socials. Until next time, see ya.